It's Amber here at the B channel, back with another episode of this podcast to bless, edify, and encourage others to live their best lives. And I am here today with a special guest, Dominique. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hey, Amber. Well, my name is Dominique, and I am a number one lover of God. I am a wife and a mother of two, and I am creative entrepreneur, and the founder of Hey Warrior Girl. At Hey Warrior Girl, we share God's messages of hope, encouragement, and restoration through gifts and community. So, right now, I am a gift shop owner where we specialize in Christian gift cards for mostly women and things like that. So I'm a hope dealer. I am an encourager. I am a restorer, and I'm happy to be with you on today.
Oh, you have a lot going on there, sis. But today's topic we're going to stick to is caregiving. So, did you want to tell us your story?
Sure. So my daughter, her name is Elegance. She is 6 years old now, but when she was one, she developed heart failure, and um, the technical term for it is cardiomyopathy. And we were told that there was no way to save her heart, and that she would need a heart transplant. And so she was successfully transplanted by the age of 2. And she's been healthy for 4 years. This is going on 4 years post heart transplant. She's been healthy and everything. But along the way, we found out that she has some special needs. And so throughout our journey, I've decided to basically be her full time caregiver. And also, I have a 7-month old, and his name is Cortland. And Cortland has a unique journey as well. He was born almost 2 months prematurely. He's healthy and everything, no health issues, but I spent a month or so as a NICU mom with him. So he's also here with us right now. So yeah.
Well, that's good to hear that everybody is doing well. So, describe like a typical day in the life of, caregiving for you.
Wow. Um, that's something that always changes. Um, as much as I want everything to be okay, we doing this is what it's gonna be today. That's what it is. It changes, but so I would say a normal day is basically we decided to homeschool Elegance this year, so I'm a homeschool mom. So we get up in the morning, we do our thing with homeschooling. I also have a part-time work from home job as well. So after homeschooling, I'm working part-time, and then Hey Warrior Girl, of course. That's that's really at the top underneath my children and my husband. But I'm trying to encourage somebody, trying to get a journal with me together, or something like that, making a greeting card, whatever it is. And then on off days, I'm taking my daughter and my son to their doctor's appointments, and to their therapists and things like that.
Oh, okay. So tell me more about this journal with me. I've seen that on your platforms, but I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. So let us know what the tea is on that.
Yeah, of course, sis. Okay. So first of all, Journal with Me originated because I love to write. I mean, obviously, if I'm making greeting cards, right? I didn't mention this, but I'm also an author. So I love to write, and I've noticed that in my journey with being closer to God and in my devotion time to God, I just love I just love the presence of God when I'm writing. When I'm journaling, I'm basically in a nutshell, it's me writing love letters to God.
Uh,
And in writing love letters to God, he's responding to me. He's responding to me. And so I said, I I am just in awe of the wonderful things that God has to say about me, right? God has to say about me. And I said, you know what? I think other people need to join in on this, join in on the power of journaling. And I'm also like, I can't be the only person in the world who loves to journal, who loves to write. And so it just originated late last year. And Journal with Me is basically I go live the first 3 Sundays of the month at 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time
mhm,
on my Facebook page and also on the Wisdom app. I'm
mhm.
going live, and basically Journal with Me is a time of reflection, encouragement, and prayer. So I'm on there, I'm praying. I share an encouraging message from God, and then there's a journal prompt, and then we write. We answer the prompt, and we write for 10 minutes. So that's
Oh,
what Journal with Me is. Hmm.
so do people ever like come up on the stage and talk to you during that process, or do you typically just talk and then, maybe there's feedback on the back end?
Yeah. So like I was saying, I'm kind of new to Journal with Me, and there's a whole world of technology out there. So right now, as of now, the format is just me talking. You only see me, and then I'm engaging with the folks who are on Facebook who might comment or something like that. But in the future, I did think about making it like a Zoom type thing where I
Ooh.
can see everybody's faces, and then open
Aw.
up, yeah, and then open it up for others to chat and things like that. So as of now, it's just me right now.
Oh, okay. So did you ever think about like writing a devotional?
Yeah. So actually, I do have a devotional that I wrote in 2018. It is
Mhm.
called Arise, the devotional for warrior wives, and it's geared towards newlywed wives.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, other than that, I have thought about doing devotionals, and possibly doing something like a journal prompt book or something like that that has a book with prompts in it for those who I personally don't at this point, right? I've been
Mhm.
doing it. I do it almost every day on my own, so I don't need a prompt. But I know that there
Right.
are people that that need prompts and things like that to just be able to reflect on God and
Right.
everything like that. So I am heavily thinking about doing some sort of journal prompt.
Yes, I love to journal, but for me, I'm one of those people that's in the camp of I need a prompt sometimes. So what
Yeah.
I do is I go into the guided prayer and the YouVersion Bible app, and they'll have like a couple of scriptures and like prayers in there, and some nice tranquil music. And so like I just think about the scriptures and like what I see about God in the scriptures, and then I'll write down some things and sometimes it'll spark me to like write a short prayer, even if it's like a sentence. I'll just write a sentence about something that I thought about. And so it's like it doesn't have to be this big thing, but it's like it is helpful though to have those prompts.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Even in my journal time, sometimes it is just a quick sentence or two. Sometimes it's just a God, I thank you. And that's it.
Right?
That's it for the day. Sometimes it's a paragraph. Sometimes it's a letter. Sometimes it's a vent session. Sometimes it's different. It's different each day, and sometimes it is a prompt. So it's really what you make it. It's really what how you feel comfortable with writing, as a form of expression.
Hmm. Oh my goodness. I have an idea for you. It could
What
be
is
a caregiver centered journaling prompt. That would
Wow.
be amazing.
Wow. Yeah, that is an awesome idea because people be sleeping on us caregivers. It's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot to deal with, and that is something that I noticed as well, that people don't talk about caregiving a lot.
What's the biggest misconception that you've noticed as a caregiver?
I think the thing that comes to my mind first is, and let me start before I answer this question. Let me start by saying this: caregiving doesn't have to be you at home 24/7, because there's plenty of caregivers that go to work and still care for their loved ones. Go to work outside of the home, I mean. So I'll say that first. But to answer your question, I think the biggest misconception is, oh well, you get to stay at home. You get to be at home. You get to be at home all day. You ain't gotta worry about bosses and all this. You ain't gotta worry about that type of stress, because you at home. You can take a nap. You can take a nap whenever you want to. You ain't gotta worry about this and that. So I think that's the misconception, is that just because I'm at home, it's it's not a lot. It's not a lot at times.
Yeah, because like the idea of a nap is beautiful, but it's not like you can just like will your body to just go to sleep at the drop of a hat. Like it's not that simple if you're not tired, especially if you have a different type of sleep cycle based on what you're doing for the person. So, I mean, that would be lovely, but personally, I just feel like I'm not a nap person. It's just hard. Like because I
Yeah,
can't.
it's and each person's situation is different, but even at night, like when you get ready to go down to sleep, I'll use myself as an example sometimes. Sometimes my daughter struggles to sleep at night due to her special needs. And so she might be up making noise or like fidgeting or something like that, because she has a hard time sleeping. And
Right,
so when she's up at night, that means I'm up at night. that
right,
means that means I'm up at night. And then also, I'm gonna throw a little bit of mommyhood in this too. I'm a mom to a baby, and so
right.
he's waking up at different
Okay,
times of the night. So on that on top of caregiving, like you can't you don't, like I was saying earlier, you don't know what your day is going to be like from day to day, and then to discuss like sleep patterns and things like that. You don't know when you gonna struggle, when you done been up all night or something like that, like so yeah.
yeah, it can be rough because you're like, that you should go to sleep, but it's like you don't really feel tired per se. And then it's like, well, maybe
Mhm.
I could use this time to be more productive. And then you start doing chores or something else. You might start watching a movie because it's a
Yeah.
time of solitude. You'll get that space of quiet. And you're like, oh my goodness, I can't waste this time that's actually quiet. I have to do something. Like you feel like you need to be productive, you know?
Yeah, yeah. There have been times where I've definitely fallen into that, where I go like days and days with of free time, right? Days and
Right.
days, and then next thing I know it, I've been laying on the couch. The like I've been laying on the couch, not doing nothing that I planned on doing or whatever. But I'm learning to give myself grace. I'm learning to give myself grace in those moments and say, okay, I've noticed myself going into this pattern. Is this something that needs to be fixed? But at the same time, I needed the rest. I needed the rest, or whatever I was doing during that time that I said I wasn't going to be doing. I needed to do that. So
Yeah, it can be something like that's one of the biggest humps to really get over is just to tell yourself that it's okay to watch the movie. It's okay to not have everything planned out. It's okay to just let go sometimes. And that's a lesson that I had to learn for myself is to hold my day loosely because it can be very unpredictable.
yeah.
Like you know that you're gonna do this at XYZ time, but then something else happens that throws everything off. So you're just like,
Hmm.
oh well, I guess I just need to decide what's going to happen today and what's not, and roll it over to
Yeah,
the next
exactly,
day.
exactly. Hmm.
Yeah. So, what do you think has been like the biggest lesson you've learned, or the biggest blessing that you have learned through this season, this time of being a caregiver?
Hmm. The biggest blessing or lesson that I've learned.
Mhm.
Hmm. I think I think the biggest blessing is I mentioned that my daughter is has some special needs,
Mhm.
and when she was in public school, you hear a lot of things that, and not knocking anybody whose child is in traditional schooling, I'll say that,
Mhm.
but in her circumstances, her being a person of medical needs and special needs, um you hear some people say some really negative things, and in their eyes that's not negative, that's just them telling you, oh, she needs to work on X, Y, and Z, or she did this or she didn't do that. To
Mhm.
them it's not negative, but to me as a mom, I'm like, okay, what she do now?
Mm.
What's the problem now? What you got to say now? What you get? And in this season of me transitioning her to homeschool, I've been able to see her advance. I've been able to see her grow, and see the things that maybe others didn't see from her. So I feel like that's the biggest blessing, is that you know I decided to homeschool with some uncertainty, like, is this really gonna work? You know, but like I said, I've seen her grow and develop and flourish in just the short time that I've been at home with her. So I think that's the biggest blessing, is that, and then too, at the time, I really felt God's prompting for me to take her out of traditional school and do homeschooling. So during that time, I was able to see, okay, God, okay, God, I see what you're doing. I see why you did that, because I could see, because she's flourishing, and I
Mhm.
could see her doing that.
So basically, it seems like that you have had the opportunity to protect her more, to like shower her with grace in that way, and to just have a better experience for her, give her a better quality of life, and where she doesn't have to deal with that scrutiny at such a young age. Now, maybe things will change when she gets older, but this is like a great season for her to grow and just you know, keep you company, in that way. So, I mean, it may take a little longer, but maybe there'll be a transition later, but this is the right move for right now. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, you basically said everything. I wanted to give her a chance.
Mm,
I wanted to give her a chance at the things that people were saying she can't do.
mm,
Um, and like you said, exactly like you said, traditional schooling is not completely off the table.
right.
But for right now, she is flourishing in that way. And before we move forward, let me just clarify something. She's it's not like I don't want to make it seem like my daughter is immobilized or anything like that.
Right.
Um she's physically able to do things. She's walking, she's running, she's
Mm,
putting on her clothes, she's eating her own food and things like that. But she does have some developmental delays.
right.
When I'm talking to her, she does understand, but she does have those delays. So just want to throw that out there for her.
Yeah, but at any rate, it's still a situation where she needs your special attention and care in this season to shape and mold her so that she can have that thick skin that she needs when it's time to get out there.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right.
So it's going to be a blessing because she's going to be exactly where she needs to be when it's that time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that confirmation. I received that. And you mentioned thick skin. That is so true because even her story of her transplant story, right? Like this girl had a whole heart transplant. Like she had a whole like it's amazing. It's amazing. Like her story to me is amazing and I can't wait um till she gets a little bit older and she can see the
Mm.
fullness that she is a blessing of God. So
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So that brings me to another question that I had in mind based off of that, because when I think about the fact that she triumphed over that circumstance, the word that comes to mind for me is warrior. So how do you define warrior?
Oh my God. My favorite word. Warrior. Um just somebody who is resilient. Um somebody who might have taken a few hits. Somebody who might have taken a few hits, but they get up, they get right back on up. They get right back on up and they keep it pushing. Um that's what a warrior is to me. And that's why my business is called Hey Warrior Girl, because it's meant to be God. It's meant to be like God talking to you, right? God is
Right.
talking to you and saying, "Hey, warrior girl." Like God is as I fight throughout the day. I still got a father that I can go to and lean on,
Yeah.
that can hug on me, that can love me and say, "Hey, warrior girl, what's up? What's
Yeah.
going on?" So that I think I answered. I think I went off a little bit of your question, but a warrior is somebody who is resilient, somebody who can get up and just keep it pushing, who doesn't let adversities or issues stop them from growing.
That is amazing, for real, because I mean, if you're going to be a warrior, when you think about it, where does a warrior go? They go to battle. And when you go to battle, what do you get? Battle scars. So you
Hmm.
cannot be a warrior without any battle scars. So you have to have something to triumph from, you know?
Exactly. And you also have to have a place of rest too. A warrior is somebody who can rest. You know?
Yes.
So yeah. Be
Well,
healed.
we have
Be
to.
healed from those wounds. Be healed from those wounds that you got in battle. That's what a warrior is.
So you can live to fight another day.
Mhm.
That is
Mhm.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think that really covered the whole thing, sis. But do you have any final thoughts, any seeds that you would like to plant for the audience?
Whew. Um the thing that's coming to my mind is that God is a healer. No matter what you're facing, no matter what problem you had, allow God to heal it. Allow God to heal you. Um, and to all my caregivers out there, know that you're not alone. Um, develop a relationship with God, because I'm telling you, I told Amber this before, that God is my bread and He is my water, literally.
Mm,
And that is what keeps me going. And reach out, protect your mental health. Um, Go to counseling if you need it. Join support groups. Um, and just know that you're not alone. That you're not alone in this.
yeah, that is so important to know that you're not alone. It really is. Like that's like so vital because when you feel alone, it's like you just start to feel a little depressed and like heavy, and like it's community just really helps you to feel less alone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Do you have any projects that you're working on that you would like to share?
Yeah. So I had to shut the store down for a little bit, but we are reopening. We are reopening, and I will definitely be adding more cards into the shops. You can definitely expect more journal with me, and that's pretty much it. God is writing my story, but that's my main project, is to get my shop reopened, and add some more cards to the line.
That's awesome right there, because sometimes we feel like we have to do a lot, but it's beautiful to just be like, you know what, I'm focusing on this one thing, and that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it until I get it done. And
Hmm.
that way I can put all my energy into that, and it can be the most excellent that it could possibly be.
Exactly.
So, I have down here below your social. I have it right here. But are there any other contacts or social media platforms that you would like to share?
Okay, yeah. You have it. I am Hey Warrior Girl on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. If you have the Wisdom app, you can find me at Hey Warrior Girl there. And my name is Dominique, Dominique.
Mhm.
Um, and that's pretty much it.
Alrighty then, sis. Thank you so much. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Amber. It's truly an honor.
Yeah, so we will put all of your information in the description below. So don't worry, everybody. All the tea on her is going to be in the description. I thank y'all for watching. Hey, everybody. I hope that you really enjoyed this episode with Dominique as much as I did. And I hope that it resonated with you, fellow caregivers out there. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you catch up with Dominique at Hey Warrior Girl on all her social platforms. All of her information and her link tree will be in the description below as promised. But before we get out of here, make sure that you are following this podcast and you leave a review or a rating and a comment so that more people can find out about this podcast. And if you have any feedback or you would like to collaborate, please make sure that you leave me a DM at bchannel27 on Instagram so that I can get in touch with you and we can talk about some of the topics that are on your heart and mind, or read some of the books that you would like me to spill the tea on. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope that you have a blessed rest of your day.